Now we're ready to start building the dove. And the dove, you can see all the gold background. Now we're going to fill in the white for the dove. And it has both inside and outside curves. The outside curves are the easiest to do because there's no clipping. We're just going to use glue stick and turn that edge back. Be generous with the glue. That's what's holding the seam allowances together. And I just kind of start pinching this someplace in the middle. The paper rules, so just kind of work your way to the edges, kind of pinching that edge. And then don't forget to finger press. That's what keeps everything nice and crisp. And again, that's the only pressing in this entire quilt top. And so now we put glue stick on the back side of that turned edge because that's what holds the seam allowances together. So there's our first piece of the dove. And then we seal it down. And now we're going to I'll demonstrate the inside curve. This is touching both here and right there. I'm going to do this easy side first. Glue stick in an outward motion. Have the freezer paper facing you and pinch it, roll it back right on the edge of that paper. Finger press as you go. And now we have to clip all these inside curves. You clip just into the paper, almost not into the paper because we want a nice smooth edge, close to it, but not into the paper. We don't want a choppy edge. I'm doing this approximately every 1/4 of an inch or more. Glue stick. It only took me about 15 minutes to put all of the gold pieces down as the background. There's a lot of paperwork to getting ready to start building. But once you start building, it's really fun. It's almost like eating potato chips, and you can't wait to eat or put down the next piece. Finger press. So now that's going to go right there. There's nothing else touching, so I put glue stick there, and then seal it down. So when I do, there's 2 paste laces I turned. I wait till I have everything turned on that one pattern piece, and then I do the second gluing all at the same time. The second gluing for both of those edges. Using your registration marks. And seal it down. We're continuing to build the center part of our big center square. And we've placed all of the background pieces first. Then we had the white of the dove. And I wanted to show you, these are the last 2 pieces to put in. The dove took longer to do because there were more edges to turn. So you're going to place this one here. And then you only turn what is touching. It's going to touch here and right there. This is going to be open because this last piece will be there. So I'm going to just put a little notch in there, and I'm going to turn it from here to here. Sometimes I put a little notch in there because it's a little easier to see where the clip is. So then you glue, turning back one side of this at a time. Don't try to do all edges at a time. Just glue one edge to be turned first. That's that piece right there. Now we have to turn here and there. We're turning this back and finger pressing, and now this outside edge has to be turned too. By only gluing one part or one section of this piece at a time, you keep your fingers cleaner. They don't get as sticky. You turn all the pieces that need to be turned before you do the second gluing. Your finger press, and any little dog ears that stick out, you just pull that back and clip that off. We don't want any dog ears sticking out. You don't want to mash it under there. You want to keep everything nice and crisp. So finger press, that's going to fit right there. And we leave this open because this last piece will cover that up. This is applique. This is the way you'd build something with hand applique. We're building it by hand, but there's no sewing involved in it until after we've made the quilt sandwich. Then we quilt and stitch all at the same time. So you fit that in there, finger press, and seal it down. We seal each piece as we're building. And now this last piece, see, it's going to touch here, here, and here. But we don't turn these outside edges down because other pieces of our border will be covering those up. So we're just going to turn one edge at a time. Finger press. Clip inside curves. This is an inside curve. We clip that just to the paper. Glue in an outward motion. Turn it back with your fingers. Finger press that. And now this last edge has to be turned. These will be covered by border pieces. Yes, the white doves took longer to do than the background because there were more edges that needed to be turned, but it's still going quite quickly. All right, so now I'm ready for the second gluing. This time you can put it on in a, glide it along the seam allowance because the first gluing acts as a stabilizer. This turn back edge is nice and strong now, so you can just glide the glue stick. And this fits right in here. And now is the fun place. We can reveal or remove all these pieces except this outside edge. We want to leave everything that has an outside edge. So you use your sewer stiletto and just kind of pick under there and start removing all of these center pieces.